Fluency is not a talent. It is a muscle.
And, most students are letting that muscle get weak because they're waiting for a teacher.
Or a partner.
Yeah, they're waiting for permission to practice.
Okay, let's unpack this. We are diving into a concept today that, for many of you learning English, is, well, it's truly revolutionary.
It really is.
Especially if you feel stuck at that A1 or A2 level, you know the one,
Yep.
where you can read the words, but they freeze up when you try to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Our source material today is all about one core idea. You do not need a speaking partner to build your fluency.
That is the truth we have to accept. If you're always waiting for someone else, a teacher, a class, you are limiting your practice time so much.
Right. You might get, 3 hours a week in a class?
Exactly. And how can you expect a muscle to get strong with so little exercise? The time you spend alone has to become speaking time.
So before we jump into the 5 tips, we need to clear away some old ideas, the myths that keep people quiet.
Let's do it.
Myth number 1, and I really want you to hear this. Stop thinking that reading grammar books will help you speak. It won't.
It's fascinating because it feels like it should work, right?
Right.
But you're using the wrong tool for the job.
How so?
Well, when you read a grammar book, that's input. You're taking information in.
I see.
But speaking is an output problem. It's about producing language.
Yeah.
And the brain handles those two things very, very differently.
So reading helps you recognize words, understand sentences.
Yeah, absolutely. It improves your reading skills.
Yeah.
But it does not train the physical act of speaking.
The physical act.
Yes. The rhythm, the intonation, how to move all those tiny muscles in your mouth to make an English sound. A book can't teach you that.
It's like you can read a book about lifting weights, you can understand everything about the bicep, but until you actually lift the weight, your bicep stays weak.
Exactly. Reading is input. Speaking is output. You cannot learn to swim by reading a book about water.
You have to get in the water.
You have to get in and start moving. It's messy at first, sure, but that physical action is the only thing that creates real progress.
And that messy part,
Yeah.
that brings us to the second huge myth that just paralyzes learners.
Oh, I know this one. The idea that you have to wait until you're perfect.
Yes, or ready before you even try to speak.
Which is impossible. It's a trap. Perfection is the enemy of progress here.
Why do you think it's such a powerful fear?
Because if you wait until the grammar is 100% correct in your head, the words will never come out.
It's too slow.
Way too slow for a real conversation. You have to make mistakes. That's how you train the speed and the flow you need.
That fear of the first mistake, I think that's the biggest wall for A1 and A2 learners.
It is. You know the words, but that filter between your brain and your mouth is just too strong.
So we need to weaken the filter.
We need to weaken the filter. And this is where it gets really interesting. We have to shift our whole perspective.
Okay.
We need to move away from the classroom idea and into what our source material calls the speaking gym.
The speaking gym, I like that. It feels active.
It is active. It emphasizes the physicality of it. We think of fluency as a mental thing, but it's so deeply physical.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, think about it. Your mouth has muscles. Your tongue, your lips. They're all muscles.
Right.
And those muscles are what shape the sounds, like the sound in English or the R. Your mouth has to make a very specific shape.
And if you don't practice making those shapes,
They stay weak. They're not used to moving in that English way. So when you get nervous and try to speak, the muscles get tired, your brain freezes, and you just go back to the sounds of your native language.
So this deep dive, it isn't about learning new words. It's about physical training.
That's the core of it. Consistent daily self-practice. These 5 tips are your workout routine for the speaking gym. They're designed to build flow and confidence all by yourself.
All right, let's get into the training schedule. We have 5 tips here. The first 2 are about daily conditioning.
Building stamina.
Then we have 2 warm-up exercises for rhythm and articulation. And the last one is like a high-intensity workout.
Sounds good. Let's start with daily conditioning. Tip number 1 is the self-talk walk.
This sounds so simple, but that's why it's so powerful. It's basically narrating your own life.
In real time.
Yeah. When you're walking, making coffee, whatever, you just narrate what's happening in English. You become the narrator of your own movie.
And the key here is not complexity, right? It's about volume.
Exactly. The goal is just to keep making sound, to keep the output going, even if you're just whispering to yourself.
And the sources give us some great levels for this. You can start really small.
Right. If you're A1, you're at level 1. Basic narration, just say what you see. I am standing, I see a dog, the dog is black, I am opening the door.
Super simple.
Super simple, then when that feels easy, you move up.
To level 2, adding detail and emotion. So instead of just, I'm opening the door, it becomes,
I am happily opening the door because it is raining outside.
or, I need to buy milk today, and I'm feeling a little worried about the price.
The sentences are still basic, but you're adding flow. You're making those mouth muscles work together for longer. That is powerful conditioning.
It really is. The self-talk walk trains your mind to think in English and your mouth to move in English. No partner needed.
Okay, moving on to tip number 2. This one is a great self-correction tool. Record voice notes.
The process is so simple. You just take your phone, open the voice recorder, and talk.
About what?
Anything. Your morning, your favorite food, something funny you saw, just for 30 seconds a day.
And here's the crucial part, the detail that makes this work. You do not send them.
Right. This is not for communication.
This is for you. It's self-diagnosis.
You record for 30 seconds, and then you immediately listen back.
And what are you listening for?
You listen for the pauses.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get stuck? Where did your pronunciation sound a bit strange? Did you forget a really basic word?
But I can see a learner worrying here. If I correct myself, but my idea of correct is wrong, aren't I just reinforcing a mistake?
That is a fantastic question. And the sources address it. For an A1 or A2 learner, the speed of the feedback is more important than perfect accuracy at first.
So just noticing the mistake is the win.
Noticing the mistake is a huge win. When you listen to your own voice, you start to hear the difference between what you want to sound like and what you actually sound like.
So you're training your ear, not just your mouth.
Exactly. And even if your correction is only, say, 80% right, that's so much better than the 0% you get when you stay silent. You're building that internal feedback loop, which is essential for getting better long term.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now let's move into our warm-up exercises. Tip number 3 is music, singing or rap.
This one is all about tackling rhythm and intonation. English is a stress-timed language.
What does that mean exactly?
It means it has a certain music to it. Some syllables are long and stressed, others are short and quick. It's a rhythm the native speakers just feel.
And you can't learn that from a textbook.
Not really. A book can give you rules, but copying a song lets you feel the rhythm. You're using the singer as a perfect model.
So you're not just learning words, you're learning how they connect together smoothly.
Exactly. And we need to be clear here. You do not need to be a good singer.
Oh, good.
Please, we encourage you to embrace bad singing. Sing loudly, sing in the shower. It doesn't matter how you sound.
It's about imitation, not performance.
All that matters is that you copy the rhythm, the flow, the stress.
I knew a learner once who decided to learn an Eminem song. He was A2 level.
Wow, that's ambitious.
It was. But the rhythm of the rap forced him to connect words and make sounds so much faster than he ever would in a conversation. It was like a shock treatment for his mouth.
That's a perfect example. Rap is like intense cardio for your mouth. You can't stop to check your grammar. You just have to keep up. It forces flow. Okay, building on that, let's go to tip number 4. This one is pure physical preparation. Tongue twisters. This is your warm-up stretch at the speaking gym. Tongue twisters are designed to challenge your mouth with difficult clusters of sounds.
So they prepare you for real speech.
Exactly. They help you control those sounds like S and she that you might stumble over in a fast conversation. It's about strengthening your control over your tongue and lips.
And the key is to start slow.
You have to start slow. If you go fast right away, you just practice the mistake. Start slow, get it right, then build speed.
Okay, the source gives us a classic one. It's tricky because of the S and she sounds right next to each other. She sells seashells by the seashore.
A very famous one.
All right, I'm going to try it right here, right now. No practice. Going for a bit of speed. She sells seashells by the sea?
Sure. Oh, man.
Huh. What happened?
I stumbled right on that last shore. My tongue just got tangled between the S and cells and the she and shells. And that's the point. That physical struggle shows you exactly which muscle movement needs more practice.
That transition.
That specific transition. If you can master that one difficult movement by practicing it slowly, the rest of your speech will feel so much smoother. It's like adding a little more weight to the bar each day.
It turns something abstract like phonetics into a physical workout. I love it.
And that brings us to our final tip, the high-intensity workout. Tip number 5, the one-word game.
This one is brilliant because it removes all the pressure. You don't need a topic. You don't need to do research.
You just need to look around you. The rule is simple. Pick one simple object you can see right now, like table or lamp.
Okay, I see a chair.
Perfect. Now, the challenge is to talk about that chair for 30 seconds without stopping.
Without stopping at all.
Without stopping, even if you repeat yourself, even if you use filler words, the sound has to keep flowing.
What's the benefit of that?
It bypasses your inner critic, that little voice in your head that wants to check all the grammar before you speak. This game forces that voice to be quiet.
Because flow is more important than perfection.
In this exercise, yes. Flow and articulation are the only goals. So you might say,
This is a chair. The chair is brown. I can see the chair. I sit on the chair. The chair has 4 legs. It is a wooden chair. I like this chair.
exactly. You might have said chair 7 times, but you spoke continuously for 30 seconds. You trained your brain to fight for words, to link sentences, and to not stop when you make a small mistake.
It builds stamina. That's what's missing when learners freeze in a real conversation. They run out of speaking energy.
They run out of linguistic endurance. This game builds that endurance.
So those 5 tips, the self-talk walk, voice notes, singing, tongue twisters, and the one-word game, they're all for the solo learner.
All designed to build that muscle memory alone and consistently.
Okay, let's bring this all together. The big takeaway today is that speaking is a physical skill. It needs physical training.
You have to move your mouth. You have to move your tongue, just like an athlete trains their body.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about making speaking a habit, not a test.
Right. It's about building that muscle memory. So when you're in a real conversation, the words just flow. It's
Okay.
automatic.
You don't need perfect grammar to start. You just need volume and consistency.
The accuracy will follow once the muscle is strong.
And the real difference between getting better and staying stuck is what you do when you are alone.
That's it right there.
So what does this all mean for you today? We have a challenge. Pick just one tip from this deep dive. Not all 5, just one.
Start small.
Start small, but start moving those muscles. Do the self-talk walk for 5 minutes. Record one 30-second voice note. Sing one song badly in the shower. Just start today.
And as a final thought to leave you with, if fluency is a muscle you train alone, what common English resource could you use as your training weight? Something you already own, but have never used for speaking practice.
That's a great question.
Think about it. Maybe it's the ingredient list on a food package, forcing you to say difficult words. Or maybe it's just a random page from a dictionary. Find that thing in your house today and use it for your next workout in the speaking gym.